All right, so we're reviewing implicit differentiation. So let's look at some examples when we're doing. This is going to involve that hook y prime and then some algebra involved in it. So if I give you an equation like this and x and y are mixed together, we're going to still differentiate it, but we're going to do it with implicitly, so that when I take the derivative with x in it, it just is what it is. But with y, negative 4y, it's negative 4, but it needs a hook y prime. 8y squared, take the derivative, but it needs a hook y prime. And then the derivative of 10 is 0. If it has a y prime, we're going to factor it out. 2, we'll subtract it to the other side, and then we'll just divide. And there we have our answer. Now, we got to be careful. Sometimes you have a hook involved that involves the product rule. So when you see x and y beside each other, that's going to involve the product rule. Let me move this over here. That's going to involve the product rule. So I have to go the first times the derivative of the second, and then the second times the derivative of the first, and so on. So the first times the derivative of the second, which is y, which is 1, but it needs a y prime, plus the second times the derivative of the first. The derivative of y is 1, but it needs a y prime hook, and then the derivative of 5 is 0. That's the part that's the tricky part. Then we factor out the y prime. Make sure that's 1. This is positive 4y, so we're going to subtract it to the other side. So that's negative 4y, and then divide. If you are asked to find the slope at a point, at this step, I don't even know if that works. So 4 times 1, doesn't matter if it works. So if I plug it in, it should equal 5. It may not equal 5. But what matters is if you're given a slope at a point, that once you answer it, you then have to plug in that point to get it. So y is 1, x is 4, and then you have your answer, which in this case is negative 4 over 17. So sometimes you got to plug in that point to your answer at the end. Or here's the last one with trigonometry. So I want to take this, the derivative of this implicitly. So step 1 is the outside, which is a sine. So the derivative of sine is cosine. Then we copy it. Then the derivative of the inside, which is the first times the derivative of the second, which is y prime, plus the second times the derivative of the first, which is 1, so it just stays that, equal to 0. Then we have to factor out a y prime and divide. So in this situation, this is what I would do. I would distribute. And then once you distribute to both, then you can subtract and divide. So I would subtract y cosine xy and then to get y prime by itself, I would divide by cosine xy. And then there's your answer right there. And notice the cosine xy's, in this case, actually divide out, and the answer is negative y. All good. All right, good luck on your quiz. Mr. G Math, over now.